What's going on, YouTube? A lot of activity at the shop today, and got some new stuff to look at. Some new stuff. Went to a truck show, a little diecast truck show in the area, and I finally picked up a First Gear 164 scale truck. Haven't had First Gear 164th. I've been collecting First Gear for almost 20 years, and it's the first 164th I've gotten. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Let's take a look at it, and we'll compare it to um, my original collection of 164th. I have a 134 scale R Model Mack. But this thing, I got it out of the package. This is a 2014 release, but they had it there at the show, brand new in the package. And I just wanted to take a. I was like, this is the one. I was like, that's the livery I want. That's the company. It's this a.p.a. Mack R Model with a single 28-foot dry van trailer. So this thing is so sweet. It looks so good too. I think it just is an amazing livery. Good looking car. Really good looking truck. Um, so we're gonna take a look at this bad boy. This is all die-cast metal, the whole thing. Uh, Not a single piece on this is plastic, really, except for just the trimmings. So like your gas tanks, your tires and wheels and stack and everything, but everything else is pretty much die cast. The whole trailer's die cast, chassis die cast on it, and now this is 164 scale. So this is a good looking truck. We're gonna take a look at it. It has a lot of cool details. It has even more features than the 144th scale car does, even though those came out in the 90s, the original castings of them. So since these came out, they've added a lot of moving features to them. Take a look in the reflection here on the lighting. You can see how even the mud flaps are floating on a rod, so they never get twisted. I love that. The landing gear on the trailer, that's actually moves, and I'll show you that in a minute once we look at the individual pieces. But it's got a tilting hood. It's got this airfoil is die cast. It's not plastic. Let's take a look at some of the detail on this thing. It's nice and small too, since it's a 28-foot simulated trailer instead of the larger ones. a.p.a. they even had the serial number on the hood there, like they used to do it. It's got the bulldog, separate lens detail here. Mirrors are separate, air cleaner separate. Doesn't have air lines, but it's got the receiver back there for it. Also, the wheels are always nice and true, as typical with all my First Gear trucks. It's got the metal roof on the trailer, painted silver. Just a cool looking truck. It's going to look great in the background. Rolls very nicely. Let's take a look at the trailer real quick. The roll up door. This is a plastic kind of rubberized door. Let me get the camera to focus a little bit better. There we go. And it will roll up. Just push on it. It's on tracks. Goes right up. Cool thing about it is if you look inside, it's metal banding, and then they will melt the pins on the back of that against it. So pretty solid construction. Then it rolls in these tracks that they glue on the sides. The other nice thing about that is you can see, let's see if we can get it in there. It's got wood grain detail. Really cool. Floating wood flaps, so they kind of just hang there. You can see that. And then the back, the bumper, this thing is all metal too, not plastic. There's a chassis. Separate tire. Just kind of sits in there, won't fall out. You can see the metal base. This is not plastic, it's all metal. There's the landing gear. We're going to take a look at that real quick. You can see how true the wheels are. I mean, for a 1/64 scale, just the tires are a little crooked, but the wheels are nice and straight. You just kind of have to plate the tires and they'll come out true. Getting the door down is easy. Just kind of push it down. There's the a.p.a. back. Great trailer, heavy. Weighs a pound or two by itself. So let's see if we can use the zoom. You can see the riveting on the trailer too. So what I'm talking about with this is the fact that this is on a screw, and you just screw it. And it's a metal screw, and you can just make the landing gear come up. Kind of like the real one. It is on a jack screw, sort of, these older ones. It even has the handle there. You set against the side. So I put them up about halfway. You can see the screw. And then now it's level, pretty much. And you can get it up a little bit more. Let's see. Of course, you can practice doing it and then hooking the trailer up to the truck. Really cool thing. Let me see if we can get them a little higher. Looks like they go pretty high. There we go. It's a little bit better. Pretty long stud. And you can back that fifth wheel right up in there. So really cool stuff. Let's take a look at the truck itself. This is supposed to be a R model truck. a.p.a. was a carrier outside of New Jersey, and they went out of business around 2000, 2002, but they were almost the fourth largest carrier in the United States at one time. And a lot of these regional type carriers got real big in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. After that, a lot of them had hard times, but back then they'd have this in a short haul truck or a regional type load truck for deliveries. And these R models, they came after the B model Mack, and really cool truck. One of my favorite American semi trucks. Really love these. I would see these in New Jersey growing up, and I remember these trucks. So as another reason I snagged it. When I looked at it on the shelf, it was a good deal too. Let's take a look at the Tampa work. And you can see that a.p.a. is done there, North Bergen, and then you have the detail on the heat shield on the pipe. Let's open up the hood. You can see the detail on that is really great. Let's take a look here. Mack in the early days of the R usually used a Mack drivetrain, but you could get different motors. This looks like it might be the Maxidyne 6-cylinder Mack in it, but they offered other engines too. And when you had big outfits like a.p.a., when they'd have multiple truck orders at once, they were subject to specify their own setups. A lot of times these trucks were built to order mostly. Depending, and especially on region and a factory in that time period too. If you had different regional factories, you had one in California and Pennsylvania, etc. And they also would have produced their own specialized line of these trucks. But this being an East Coast outfit, they probably used a more traditional Mack setup. The airfoil on the top is amazing. I mean, that's how it was back then. They stuck straight up like that. And I love how the wheels are blacked out. I mean, that looks really good too. So just a good commercial looking truck. Kind of bare bones. They didn't embellish these trucks too much. They had day cabs and such like that. So they were just kind of worked. Really cool trucks. You can see again how nice the wheels roll. Solid axles. And again, this is probably max 6-cylinder diesel. I'll close that up and you can see the bulldogs on the hood there. Interior's painted in the mirrors. Whole chassis diecast. Underneath here is diecast, and then they cover up the tanks with plastic accumulator there. So really sturdy piece too. Fifth wheel is metal pinned in there, and again the floating mud flaps, great. Really make that truck look good. And true 1/64 scale, so we'll get a Buick, and that would, going down the highway, that's what they'd look like. So let's hook it up. We'll get the landing gear back down, ready to hook up. Retract it a little bit, and we'll put her on the trailer, or we'll hook the trailer up to the truck here. Fits in nicely, carries it good. Let's see if we can get a little bit better shot here. There we go. Great looking truck. Really cool truck. Very excited to have it. And you want to see its big brother. Let's take one down real quick. I haven't added the mirrors to this truck just because I don't want them getting lost, but this is, and also the Bulldog too. I kept it in its package, but this is a roadway truck, and you can see how much bigger it is than the 1/64 scale, which is still really big compared to a 1/64 scale car. But you can see how simpler they were back then. Even though the casting is really good on this truck, the hood doesn't open, and its trailer, which is a 48-foot simulated trailer, is a little bit bigger. It's a tandem axle too, but this is a lot simpler. It doesn't even have mud flaps. So this is how they were, but this one, again, these were expensive too, and they still are. Just like other diecasts, they'll come out with a livery or a paint scheme basically for one run, and that's it. So again, First Gear is collectible, kind of like your Hot Wheels and other diecasts that you might be familiar with. But it's an odd scale, but they do make really cool trucks, and I'm a big truck guy, so I definitely have a few of these type of trucks and others. But and they also, of course, they concentrate on doing the correct livery, even if the business is out of, went bankrupt or something, they would make the livery. So that was another cool reason that I collect them. Just as a comparison, 1/34th, kind of cool. But just wanted to do a short one today. Wanted to show a little bit of love to my trucks, and this is my first 1/64 scale heavy truck from First Gear, but not my last. They did absorb DCP, which also makes 1/64 scale trucks probably a little bit longer than when First Gear started doing the small scales, but they acquired them sort of recently. Their trucks are separate. They're not at the same. This is a First Gear casting. This is not one that they pirated, so I got that, I did that on purpose. I didn't want a DCP vehicle, and I'm glad I got this one because this is how First Gear makes their vehicles. Very high quality, very heavy die cast. It's all about casting with them, and I'm not disappointed. So I highly recommend this. If you can find any of the First Gear 1/64th, go get one. Save your pennies. They're good. But yeah, a little off topic today maybe with the other small cars, but trucks always going to be part of the channel. Got some new First Gear coming too. We got added a 1/25th scale that I'm going to review, and also we got green light that I got in as well. So hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and subscribing. Till next time.